Okay guys, I've got a special treat for you today. Today I'm going to be showing you my main tournament competitive deck, which is my Monarch build. I've had Monarchs for about 4 or 5 different ban lists, so I don't know how often they come out, but probably at least 2 or 3 years I've had them. And since the beginning I've been altering them and modifying them for each kind of ban list that comes out and try to upgrade them for the new formats with different deck builds, and they manage well. The weakness I have right now is the fact that it's hard to get the Reborn Tenju, which I'm looking for a playset of. So if you've got those, you can check out my trade binders, see what cards I've got that you might need. So yeah, let me adjust the camera and we'll have a look through my Monarch deck and you can hopefully build one too. Okay, my Monarch deck has went missing. Okay, found it. So, now, this isn't really in order. This is kind of a quick YouTube video that I was just trying to do. Probably going to take me a long time now. I'll start off with the extra deck, since that seems to be organised quite well. So in the extra deck I'm using one Red Dragon Archfiend, one Colossal Fighter, one Thought Ruler Archfiend, Goyo Guardian, and yes, I know Goyo's banned. I don't synchro a lot with it since I only have one tuner, so nobody seems to care or notice, and I don't summon it anyway. 2 Stardust, Iron Chain Dragon, Sea Dragon Lord Gilshadoon, Ex-Saber Bellum, 2 Ancient Fairies, and Mistworm. And for the 15th card, Tech, Chimera Tech to be exact, Fortress Dragon, because I do run Cyber Dragons. Now I have to organise this quickly, so I'll show you what I've got as I'm organising it. 2 Trap Poles, Bottomless, Gold Rare. If you've got super rare ones, let me know, because I'm always looking to upgrade rarities. And to me, super rare bottomlesses are rarer than gold rare. 1 Dandelion. If you have a Dandelion Ultra, that's also something I'm looking for. Let's stick with the traps for now actually. Just take them out of the deck. Now this deck relies mainly on having a monster on the field, so the deck has got large amounts of monsters in comparison to spells and traps. Usually decks run about 20, 10, 10 monster, spell, trap. This one runs about 25, 8, 8 or something along those lines. So 2 Phoenix Wing 1 Blasts, Torrential, Mirror Force, and Solemn Judgment. That's all for the traps. For the spells, I'm going to show you in a minute. There's only 2 ways to synchro in this deck, and if it's not with the tuner monster I've got, then it'll be with this spell here, Mind Control. And I'm looking for higher rarities of Mind Control, if there is a rarer higher than super. 1 Dark Hole, which is seeming to become staple among the people nowadays. 2 Soul Exchanges. A lot of beginner Monarch players use 3 because they believe that's the best way to get their Monarchs out, but I've found that it usually tends you end up having more than 1 in your hand and you can't use them. Monster Reborn, Pot of Avarice, 1 of course, and that was at 2 as well in my deck, but Monarchs don't have the same kind of graveyard effect as most other builds, but this one has quite a lot because of this. Blaze Accelerator and Wildfire. My Monarchs use volcanic stuff as well, which is good, or sort of heard. So that leads us on to the monsters, and of course the first thing you're going to be using with a volcanic monarch is 3 shells. Pay 500, you can get another shell 1/1s in your graveyard. The next thing you'll be using in the volcanic monarchs is 1, 2, 3. You're going to be using 3 volcanic rockets as well. 1900 attack, 4 stars, so they're usually staying on the field enough time for a sacrifice, plus they add Blaze Accelerator to your hand, which I'm sure I showed you. Now, the other monsters I'm using right now, I'm not sure about these in the deck, but we have 2 Doom Caliber Knights, which are for trade, by the way. But that's the only card in the deck that's for trade. We have a Sangan, which can help you get out your other cards like Shells, Spirit Reaper, depending on what you need. Spirit Reaper. My only tuner in the deck, Plague Spreader. I don't seem to want to use any other tuners because they don't seem to really help Monarchs, whereas Plague Spreader has 2 uses. You can use it for a synchro if you're in a winning position, or if you're near losing position you can bring it back for a tribute, which is very helpful, and I have actually done that before. 1, 2. I'm going to be using 2 Cyber Dragons in my build. I can't remember if they're at 3 again, they probably are, but I think 2 seems to work fine with me, and this build doesn't have room for more anyway. The last monster that isn't a monarch is probably my favourite monster in the deck, which is Battle Fader. ×3. When your opponent attacks you directly, you can negate their attack, end their battle phase, and special summon this monster. They are amazing for this build. And now this is the part you've all been waiting to see. Which monarchs to choose and which monarchs not to choose. All monarchs are good in their own way, which I don't really believe, but we'll just say that. Whereas these are the monarchs that usually tend to be used the most in tournaments, and that is Riser. 3 rises. When it's summoned, you can bounce a card from the field on top of the owner's deck. The next monarch I'll be using is 3 Kaises. Same as Rise, except you remove the card from play. And I only run 8 monarchs. The last 2 are Thestalos and Mobius. I used to run no Mobiuses and 1 Thestalos, but the only alteration I made via the last ban list was when Heavy Storm went down, people had less spell and trap destroying power. I don't run MSTs, but I do run Mobius, so in a way it's kind of like 2 MSTs anyway, but it's not obviously the same thing. So yeah, that's my deck build there, guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and if you need any help, or you want to understand something else, or you want to see more deck reviews, then you can, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.